Okay, so thanks everybody to attend this first webinar of the year 2018. So first of all, Happy New Year to all of you, all the best to you, family, friends, and of course all the success in the business. So as if you are following us on the social and on our website, you can see that we just launched a new version of Yes, version 5.5, alongside Twist 8.5 and Dialogue 5.5. So the purpose of this webinar is to give you some a quick overview of everything which is new into the system. Of course, at the end of the webinar, you can ask some questions. You can still use the panel to pose a question. I will take the time to respond to them, and so feel free to ask anything about our vision and strategy. So just first introduction, I know that most of you are knowing who I am. So I'm the Director of Marketing by DALIM Software, working by DALIM Software in the last something like more than 6 years. So as you can see, my background is really driven by DAM manager and so IT manager by some agencies. So, and for most of you people, so I try to, by DALIM Software, to share my experience with you. So you can follow us on the DALIM website, LinkedIn, Twitter. So first of all, quick introduction. So you know that in fact today we are living in an incredible point of time, our history. This is the dawn of the 21st century of Renaissance, I would say. So that's a world of human and machine in an exploding growth of opportunities. So this is the time to push the boundaries of human ideas, creativity and science. And design and creativity has never been more important. So it's available to every single of you. So, and at the end of the day, you can be an activist who can inspire global actions with your enrichment of social media and the power just of an idea. You can be a child just with a camera and access to YouTube that can reach more people than any media outlets, or simply a photojournalist who can remove us by capturing an entire story with just a single image. So by DALIM Software, we have always worked to remove technology barriers to human creativity and connections. We do believe fundamentally that every one of us has a story to tell in print, web, video. We are entering a new era of invention powered by the technology. So our vision and our strategy alongside the software development is one to empower pro like you to do things never possible before, faster, more intuitive, and with better results. So we want to make creativity more accessible and so intuitive. And so in fact today, if you're just looking at all the digital content, you need to be able to produce and display and share that content on every surface. So in order to unleash the creativity, also, we do believe, and you can see here in ESI5, that IA and deep learning can really help also creativity. And so, of course, at the end of the day, the experience matters, because this is the software is just like the link between you and your customer, and the customer engagement is more important than anything else. So it's important to change the world for digital experiences. So ES55, so the official release is available today. And in fact, you know, since the last years, and especially I will say since the last ES4, we really try to change the way ES is. So ES is really at the heart of the digital contents, and as you can see here, it's just like the brand cocktail in order to make connections with any other systems. So, you know my slide, this one. So today, yes, is definitely at the heart of your digital content in order to process any kind of files, where you are talking not just about graphic files, but it's also video, 3D, in order to share and streamline that content all alongside the omnichannel publishing. Okay, so one of the main features that he has embraced since the last 2 years is about the DAM, and everybody of you is aware that the fact that the DAM, especially in the marketing strategy, is one of the main pieces. So in order to increase the brand awareness, to improve the online engagement. So yes, it's really at the heart of your company in order to maintain the brand consistency alongside all the channel. So now I will spend some time to give you some of the latest updates and features that we put into the latest version, ES 5.5. So we improved the check-in, check-out using the latitude. So you know that, of course, ES is driven by the HTML5 technology. So since we leave the Java world, we need to get some piece of software to control the machine. And so latitude, this is the new links between your machine and the server in order to control the files. We also enable the WebDAV protocol in order to read-write some of your assets, because of course it's important to get access of your content wherever you are. So we try to improve the ingest, or as for example the ability to manage SFTP connection. We also, and especially this is one key feature for packaging, to manage digital signature for the approval and rejects. We try also to improve the customization at the top of your projects, and so giving you the ability to add some plugin components at the top of your project, so you can do more or less everything you want. Then, based on the requests we had of your experience, and especially on the print publishing, you have now the ability to print the flat plans, and in order to improve the administration of ES, you have some new features just like the ability to export duplicates, any piece of the setup in ES, just like the ES theme. One of the things you are all waiting for is the new workflow editor. This new workflow editor will start a new age of the customer experience. So now it has never been easier as now to build your own workflow. And just now, most of the time, 80% you'll be able to manage any customization without any knowledge of programmation. So of course, it's still open to the most advanced user to do anything you want to make connection with your ERP system, IMS system, but this one we will see it's just great, and just using all the technology here in the HTML5, so simplify the management of workflow. The other thing, and especially alongside what you get some experience of your company and different facilities around the world. So of course you can get your headquarters, but most of the time you have to manage the approval of your contents from the US to China, and at one side, in fact, you need to be able to manage renderer on local sites. So this is a new enhancement that we're bringing to ES. And this one, just to give you an idea how it works. So just imagine that your main site is in Paris, in France, and you have different facilities around in the world. So of course you will be able to manage any kind of input, FTP, SFTP, S3, Amazon, and you have 3 different sites, Tokyo, London, and New York. And for any user that wants to upload something to one dedicated site, the system is now really able to streamline, to ready to make the connection and the upload much faster as never before. And so the benefits of such feature is really the ability to process documents locally. So you don't have to upload, download, etc. So, and just imagine the capacity to manage very large video files, terabyte of files. You cannot upload such files. So it's also one way to avoid network transfer for such files. You will get dedicated devices on customer side. Definitely it will enhance, improve your production. So, and of course at the top, alongside all the facilities, all the enhancements we bring into the admin, it's just very easy to set up. Just right click, drag and drop, nothing more. So now Dialog. So you know that Dialog is one of our biggest success story alongside Twist here in our technology. And now ES5.5, Dialog Engine 5.5 just reached really the edge of a customer, because and especially just imagine for the pack engine, for some of you need to use Java in order to control your files. So just now with Dialog Engine 5.5, we made the HTML file even great again. So you can easily, in fact, manage your spot color, you can manage your opacity at the top. You bring also some enhancement, especially to read and annotate your barcode, and also to manage the calibration of your screen. So this is nothing more to add. This is now the top of the art of a Dialog. So very successful interface, very fast, easy to use, and to manage whatever your artworks, whatever your assets at the top of your system. And so of course we are talking about asset management. So since EN4, we really started a new age for DALIM, in this enterprise content management world. So we bring so much more facilities, enhancement, and user experience at the top of the ES. So one thing that was rating for most of you is the support of S3. So we are able to monitor S3 storage just like any other volume that you were able to manage before. So the multiple site of the architecture is also nice way, because you have so many assets across the world. We bring some enhancement alongside the rights management at the top of your folders. We improve the search also, so very advanced search, and the search is also a key of your success for your DAM. Of course, at one time, some of your people, especially designer researcher, need to get in touch with AWCC, and thanks to the partnership we have with Silicon Publishing, we just unveiled just days after the Adobe Max, the new version of CC 2018. So we are supporting version 15, 17, and 18. And of course, as I was telling you at the beginning of this webinar, we added the deep learning in order to get some automation to tag your picture, or to use a color search as one of your key to be able to reuse your content even more easier. And so as well, talking about user experience, so this is one of you. This view is of course more driven by the production, because you can see the folder view. You have so many ways to facilitate and to customize the skin. So you just have to get access to one folder, and you have this user experience. One of the success is also, and especially for photo studios, and we are more and more successful in this market. So you can get really the experience of third-party software, just Lightroom, Capture One. So you can compare one apple to apple your assets. You can use the film strips, and that's a key feature for your DAM, because most of the DAM today, they have to download the picture. So just with ES, you're just working on ES, and very so fast. So the plugin, so just updated with the new version of CC 2018. We also add the ability to, because of course, as you know, we are supporting HTTP links, or it means that all your assets are linked with HTTP assets, and now you can also be able to upload your design documents without the links, and you can relink to the folder later on. We also improve the support of large files, even if, of course, as usual, but it's more driven by InDesign at that stage. In order to improve the productivity, just try really to be smart in order to use right assets, to transform your asset, and not to try to avoid some rescaling of your asset with a few % in the blocks of InDesign. So, and of course, we improved the performance. And so one thing, just imagine just years ago where we were and what we can do today. So especially for whatever you are working by an agency or a photo studio, you're now able to manage all the workflow from the capture to the production and to the distribution. And after years, we really try to improve this experience for each of these parts. Or just as for the photo capture, you can use Capture Run to browse your file system in order to make selection, to do some development or retouching, and then you can start your workflow. So this is one of the view of the capabilities of ES today. So many features, able to manage any kind of kind of assets. And I like this view because this is a clear representation of what we can do today. So one of the things is also important is the distribution, because at the end of the day, the brown portal today is 90% of the time, if you're just looking at some reports from Gartner, Forrester, is the CMS, whatever is the CMS. So it can be your WordPress, Drupal, or whatever. Now all these CMS have the abilities to support HTTP or link sharing. So just again to support, and you get so much great experience for your end customer. Of course, we try to improve also and to facilitate the access to the content. So, and especially for your suppliers, you can design such brown portals. So very more design, so you can manage anything you want just using some components into the system. You can build your own menu, use CSS to make the skin even more close to your brands. So very design. Or this one, as for example, so that's just some example you can do at the top of your assets. One of the also new features in ES5.5 is the enhancement or KPIs, so key performance indicators. Because of course, whatever you are an agency or photo studio, to be aware about what people are doing day by day, the number of assets who is doing what, where, and who. It's also true for, even more true for the packaging industry, because you need to know, in fact, the status of your artworks, the number of artworks in different types of approval cycles, the number of revisions, and these KPIs are so much important for the end user in order to measure the performance of the campaign. So this is, of course, some enhancements that will be also at the top of ES5 to improve the traceability of your projects and to analyze the performance. So one of these analytics can be, as for example, the number of approval cycle, breakdown of rejections, project duration. So any metadata of ES5.5. ES5.5 is using Elasticsearch 5.5 within Kibana 5.5. So, and the connection all together are making your content even more greater, because now you can really measure the performance of your campaign. So it looks like something like that. It's just an example of what you can do in order to measure page production, in order to see what kind of assets you have in the system, or just as for example, just to measure the logins into your system that you can filter alongside customers and projects. This one is more driven by to check the approval cycle of your artwork. So as you can see, you have different types of approval cycle. That's something I can show you just after. So I've got 3D approval, text approval, production approval, and you can really follow the approval cycle and the key performance of your workflow. Or one other example like this one. Okay. With Twist 8.5, we also bring the enhancements. So as usual, we try to really to improve the performance, so it's even faster as before. We also update it alongside all the Gantt workgroup pre-flight, and especially the latest packaging 2015. We improve some connections with third-party systems, just like the GMJ link, and also something at the top. We also released PDF Pro in order to squeeze and optimize your PDF. And PDF Pro is available on the App Store since about 1 month. and you get a pro version in order to do some batch of all your files. So let's go now to a demonstration. Okay. So let's move on to, so this is ES5 file. So as you know, now you have the ability to customize the home of your system. So on my side, I just make a small slider, nice slider, in order to show the base view of our system. I've got my user, which is marketing. So this user has a user profile that will drive my user into the system. So first thing I like to show is all about the asset management. So this is one of the latest smart view that you can do with all the components we have. As you know, so these folders are just a clear representation, in fact, of my production server that you can see here. So that's just monitoring all the files. And of course, instead of working at the top of your folder, it's much more easier for most of you people to work with in ES. So you can, as usual, manage the different views of your system. Okay, so you can make an easily select and reject of your assets. So as you know, for some of you who are so close to the experience of software just like Capture One. Okay, so you can browse from one side to the other. You can hide the theme strip. You can just display. And for most of people, just have a simple 15-inch screen. Just imagine you can do so great slideshow, and of course at any time you can get a view. So instead of using Photoshop or whatever to be in touch with your assets, it's just faster with ES. So if I'm just coming back here to the viewer, of course at the top of your asset management, dialog is even more useful. So you can really quickly just, I know that most of you know this feature. It's just coming from latest XF100 MP from phase 1. So it's 1 gig file. And you just get a so great view at the top. And of course, what you see here is a clear representation of our technology, because it's just like happening in Photoshop with all the color setups. So you can manage the ICC color, you can manage all the simulation from your files to your screen. And that's so great to just to navigate into a file. So it's so fast and even faster just an opening even at the top of your machine in Photoshop. So I will be back to dialog just after that. So I will just now move to the metadata. So as usual, we are supporting all the standard IPTC, XMP, Culture, and also the capabilities to add some, as we can see here, to add some automatic keywords to your assets. So you have nothing to tag and you get some information. Of course, it's really important to also to customize. And as for example, something you can also do now, you can also manage multiple selection of your assets from one asset or selection of assets. So it's even easier and faster to drive this content. Of course, when we are talking about asset management, we are talking about the search. So if I'm searching for some pictures of Festival of Cannes, or I've got something like more than 200 assets, you can of course you can use their taxonomy to just to get a closer selection, or just the people. Okay. You can also use the facets in order to make a closer selection, just based as, for example, on the copyright. And the other things also can do, you can search for, I'm searching for Ken and Julia Roberts. So very fast, easy to select. You can easily make and save your selection. Okay. And the other things also you can do is perhaps something I can also talk to you about here, the folders. If you want just to get access to all the assets of your DAM, you just have to select the folder. And the last thing I like to show is about the colors. So just imagine just drag and drop here. So we get the ability to analyze the picture. Okay, so I just have two pictures here, and I can change my setup, so the delta, in order to get what kind of other assets, what are the similarity of assets I can based on the first selection. So, and something which is even more important is from your asset management, you can easily share the content. We saw so many people using WeTransfer Dropbox Drive in order to share the content. This is your content. You need to protect your content, so please try avoid and just use your DAM in order to share the content, whatever is the download or the view. Okay, so of course from a selection of your assets, what you can also do is you can transform we improve the user actions. So at any time you can make a collection where you can easily crop your assets like this. You can change the size, the resolutions, like this one. Okay. Okay. So the crop has been sent. I can also make a contact sheet here, and you can easily make a contact sheet from a selection. Okay. And so at the end, you can share that content into some private collections. So this is the crop of my picture. This is the contact sheet, just a PDF here at the top. Okay. The other things, and especially for the DAM, it's also so important that you need to know that you can start your project at the top of the asset management. So, and as for example, on my side, what I will do is from a selection, I will start a job just like retouch for my brown. Okay. So the only thing you have to do is simply add a user. So in order to avoid login logout, I will just use mine, but you can also add the login of a supplier, and then you just have to use, in fact, the one of the dashboard. So this dashboard is this one. So you can just simply send email, get access to your dashboard. So you can view here. So as you can see, I've got two jobs, and so this one, and from the dashboard you can easily use dialog in order to view and control your assets, and of course you can approve the content. Okay, and so you have then nothing to do. So the project has been created just at the top of your asset management, so easier. So now I think that alongside of them we are more or less okay. What I can show you is also based on the CMS. So it's so important also. That's one of the examples using WordPress. So on my side, what I did, I've just shared in WordPress one of the content of my asset management, which is we get some great event in LA last year for RST What events. So this is not this one. This is this one. Okay. And so as you can see here, I've got my assets and I've got the ability to display the content. And in order to update the content, the only thing I have to do, as for example, I will so upload. So I prepared some. I've got some slides here. I've got the revisions here at the top. So we just use a drag and drop, and that's also. You can view that I've got a second revision. So if I'm just back, just updating the cache, of course you can view that my picture has been updated. Okay. The other things also I'd like to highlight is it's all about the checkout capabilities. So just imagine what you can do. I will take as for example, I can take these assets. So in the meantime, I just install on my machine Latitude. So Latitude is this application running in the background. So As you can see, I made a selection of one of my folders in order to do some check-in, check-out. So what I will do is just, I will check out the assets, okay? And you have some blue tag in order to display, hey, hello, this asset has been checked out. And then, of course, you can view your checkout here, okay? So you can view the structure of your folders. So what you can do here, as for example, you can just simply go to Photoshop in order to, what I will do, I will just use as for example, just add the DALIM logo. Okay, like this. I will just, okay, apply, flatten my layers, save. So I've got a new asset. And so from yes, now I can check in order to get a new revision. And it works fine. So as usual, the check-in, check-out is done not to check out terabytes of your asset management, but just imagine you have one facility with some retoucher in another country. They just make a selection, check out, and check in again in order to manage your revisions. Just as the same with a plugin. So you know that. So this is in design, and from InDesign, what you can do, you can navigate. So this is my HTML5 panel here. I've got a couple of preferences here at the top, so where I can manage low high-res resolution of my asset. I can manage the check-in, check-out of my assets. So just imagine as for example, I'd like to check out this asset. I can do exactly the same from InDesign. So you can see that the asset is locked, and if I'm back to yes, you can see that the asset is logged. So you have exactly the same consistency in terms of the check-in, check-out, whatever using latitude folders outside of ES on your desktop and your machine, or from InDesign. So the thing I like to do is I would like just to import one of the picture here. So this is one, and the only thing I have to do is, as for example, I will drag and drop here, so my assets. Okay, so I just have to save, and then I will upload my InDesign document at the top. So what's happened now is I'm just back to yes. So what I can see here, this is my InDesign document. Okay, so what I like to do, of course, I'd like to add a revision. So just creating in blocks. I'm not very creative this afternoon, but just to make faster, I can save again, and from my connector, I can just upload my InDesign document. I can also, so it will be my revision, okay? And so I can also upload a PDF of the InDesign document, not from this one, oops, I'm just, just a PDF. And if I'm just back to yes, what I can see, so this is my InDesign document. I can even compare revisions between my two revisions of my InDesign document. And here, this is a PDF. So, and you have exactly the same behavior with Photoshop, Illustrator, working on a Mac and a PC. The other thing you can also do, and that's for me the opportunity to show some also new features. So I will be back to a packaging projects. Okay, so now we have a PDF. So just double click, and this is the new dialog engine 5.5. So you can work in full screen to get much more just your workspace. So on the first revision, so what I did is just adding annotation at the top. So you know what you can do. First of all, which is always amazing, is the zoom, which is pretty fast, pretty cool, very sweet. So, but you know, so it's all HTML5 driven. I put some annotation here at the top. So I was using the measurement tool here in order to measure a square. I added some information here to add the logo. And here at the stage, just waiting for some text. Okay, So, okay, I can hide this information. So you can rotate. You can rotate your artwork. You can use a gamut check in order to calibrate within your screen your file. You can check the ink coverage, so whatever you are using, the min max or GCS, or with different options here at the top. This PDF is coming from InDesign document, so I can check and view all my layers. So just like I then display the mark, as for example, or the information, whatever. Okay, for the channel, so this is something new. So what you can see here, as for example, so I will check the example, take the example of drops here. So I can check the opacity of my drops. So that's a feature which was in Java, Direct Java. Now you have in Direct Engine 5.5, and at any time you can change the order of your channel. Okay. So that's good. Now, of course, I've got a second revision of my file. So this is revision number 2. Okay, so I can also display my notes there. As usual, you can filter all this information here on the right side. You can add attachments. You can enable check status, so in order to filter what has been checked or not by the people. You can drag and drop documents here at the top. Okay, so and this information will be available in your annotation report. Okay. And of course, the last thing, and not the least, is the ability to not to rotate, but just to compare. So you can compare side by side. You can compare. So you just compare using the overlay. So you can check like this, or you can also use the analyze. And so pixel per pixel, we are able to compare differences between your two revisions. And so now, using the analyze, you can compare just pixel per pixel differences between the two revisions. Okay. Something you can see here at the top. So this is the barcode. So and in fact, using this tool, this new tool available in Direct Engine 5.5, you can get and extract information just simply just scan here the barcode, and you get the link and the information. Alongside the project, something I like also to show you is some capabilities of a project. So now you can also, of course, add some you can add some notes at the top of your project, so at any time. So I just change the way it looks like. Okay. So you can add some notes there. What you can also do is it's more for the magazine. So I just move my layout to to this one. Okay, so and here at that stage, what you can also do now, we bring some enhancement in order to print the flat plan of your magazine. So this is the old enhancement I bring here at the top. Of course, we also added some new capabilities of a DVL application. So you can connect to your server and browse all your contents. You can also use dialog at the top of your magazine in order to mark up the files in the DVL itself. We also have the same user experience. So it means that, as for example, I've made one here. So this is the experience you can get from the HTML5 flipbook. Okay. And now, so we bring exactly the same experience also for the mobile. So you can easily share. I'm just trying to connect my mobile now to my screen, to my laptop. So let me just check that my software is ready. So it looks like okay. Okay, just give me a while. Just checking so to make the connection with between my mobile. Okay, so I don't see my laptop, so that's the only thing I can do. Okay, so I will try to use the backup of my phone. So this one is my Android phone. So this is my OnePlus here, and so I can show you. And as you can see exactly the same behavior in your application. Okay, so you can browse, very easy to use. Okay. The other thing also you can do is we're also supporting now, so I will just the insert into a magazine. So if I open this one, you can see how it works. Oops, I will just back here, and so you can view that now. We can get some nice animation here at the top. So that's also new features we have. Okay. So I think we are more or less done. The last thing about Twist is about the PDF Lite. So what I did there is, for my presentation, I've got the export from my Keynote, which is more or less 100 meg. And using the PDF Lite, what I was able to do is to save 90% of the weight of my file, so just Georgia. So now we'll be back to my Keynote. So one thing I'd like also to, because this is something really new, since the last 6 months, in fact, we passed successfully the test of the 10 core DALIM features. So in fact, and alongside that 10 core DALIM feature, Mark Darvey, which is the owner of the Equity website, made a very nice survey about all the DAM system in the world. So this is a metric-based analysis and consulting database that really to aggregate all information from your DAM system. And this is more than 50 DAM system just tested. And well, of course, you have a lot of categories. So you can watch a website and you can see we are really at the top of some of the tests, so which is something very new. And so now ES5 is really engaged with digital asset management. We also try to even more to improve the knowledge of our asset management with Captera, so you can find a lot of informations, video, and so on. Alongside this year, you know that since the last 2 years, we're sponsors of the DAM Henry Stewart event. So at this on this website, you can find some of the best we did during last year, alongside every event. So videos, you can also find a white paper, a brochure that we did. So really take the time to download the white paper, a lot of pages to ready for you as part of the marketing team to learn more about the DAM and how you can really save time and money with ES. In the meantime, we did exactly the same for packaging, and especially for packaging, it's so important in order to see how to manage packaging with some technical steps, and also in the meantime to share that content. So also you have a white paper available. This one. Okay, so in the meantime, I'd like also really to end up this webinar to spend some time. We try also to improve the knowledge of our technology on the website. So we started to improve and to bring some new information on the main website, and especially you find a video section, and in this section you find all the videos, testimonials we find. So it's just ordered by categories. You can find some great testimonials from our customer, or some of the one we did during some trade shows last year. We have also a resources section where you can pick up some of the content, video, as white papers. So really spend the time. And of course, I'd like to finish one other with our greatest event of the year, which is Euroduo 2018. So Euroduo 2018 this year is in Amsterdam, March 2022. So this is really the time to even more engage you with our products and with your customers. So we are working on some amazing agenda with very great speakers. So really, if you want to get an amazing ambience to discover some of our latest piece of technology, some great testimonials, you can go to the website and register. We are still in the time for early bird access. So I'd like to thank you for the time. So I would like now just to check if you have some other questions, or just let me check. So I've got one other question about supporting raw files. So yes, we are supporting raw files. So raw files, in fact, as you know, every week you have new cameras, new optics. And if you are a user of Lightroom or Capture One or Photoshop with Camera Raw, it's updating every week. So we are not editing every week, but as soon as some very big updates, we try, of course, to update the engine. Yes, something I have the question, and you, in fact, you're right. If I'm just back to ES here, I'd like to show something I missed to show you was the workflow. I've got so many things to do that I was a little bit in a hurry. So just let me move to this one. So this is the new workflow. So as you can see, you have now the ability to zoom in, to zoom out, to do a lot of things alongside. So what I will do, I will move to the admin, so you can get the opportunity to show. I will take this one. So it works like this. So you can easily zoom in, zoom out. So you have a new panel here where you can easily, in fact, list all of your milestones. So we really try to bring something new to improve the user experience at that stage. Okay, so you can do something like that. So it's a very new way to improve the workflow engine. And so when you want to map your business process, it's you just have to drag and drop, and from one milestone just have to link to the other. Okay, it's so easy like this. I've got another question. Yes, because I was talking about some of the statistics here. So as you can see here, this is my live statistics. So what you can do, I will select as, for example, a date. So I will choose from 2017 January. Okay. Okay, I will select 2000. Okay, and oops. And I will select up to today. Okay, so I can view all my statistics. So I can filter by customer and I can filter by projects. Okay. The other I've got a question about the KPI. So I've got this one. So just like the same, I will just not today, but 2017, and here we'll put today. And so what I can do, I can view in live. So from my customer, I can view. So this is a workflow I did on the packaging side. So I can view all the artworks dispatched into my different workflows. And perhaps I can show you, because I have another question here. When I'm talking about different workflows, I will just show you an example of just searching for a packaging project. So this one, this one. So you know that in a packaging now, what you can do, so you can manage subfolders, and each of these subfolders has a custom workflow. Okay, so what you can do here, for each of these folders, you can set up a dedicated workflow. Okay, and so at the top, you can now in ES you can use a project workflow in order to check the status of the approval. And so this is exactly what I'm showing here. So from the different, okay, so I've got to, perhaps I will use this month. I don't have so many informations there, so just up like this one and put today, okay. And so here I can view, so for I can see the different approval cycle based on the folder. Okay. So I'm just checking if we have some other questions. I've got some question about 3D. So today, well, the only format we are supporting is the Collada. So a Collada file for a reason why that's in fact, so I have just to log in again. And I've got some example. So in my packaging folder, I've got here, and I've got some like a pack. So this one is has been done. So you can do your 3D things from Photoshop, from 3ds Max, from IC3D. For some of you using the software, you can manage, you can compare. So you can put annotation at the top, just like as 2D files, and you can also use the overlay in order to see the differences. We also have the ability to upload that 3D on a augmented reality platform, so we're using Augment, and so you can see and play with the 3D in your at the top of your shell in a store. Okay, so we're just checking. So last questions you can get. So also some enhancement we put at the top is also a new connection with the latest Just softproof. So from Dialog, yes, you can plug in with the latest devices from Just, and so you can control any parameters from Dialog. So make even more Dialog even more relevant at that stage to soundproof your assets. I've got another questions about the capabilities to use JavaScript and in your workflow. Yes, you can. It's already available for the smartest our people with great experience. What we just try to do for new customers or people not really tied to the development, the ability really to build step by step their own things without knowledge of programmation. So I've got some question about, so we are using Elasticsearch, so not yet. We are trying to see what we can do using the cloud Elasticsearch, so that's just the beginning, so just stay tuned to our latest development. So for 5.5, I've got a question about the permissions at the top of folders. So yes, in ES5.5 you can inherit permissions from the parents to the child, and it's also true for projects. For the search, you have some question. Yes, as you saw, we changed a couple of things, just like the capabilities to manage new type of taxonomies, to use deep learning, and to use also the color class in order to retrieve more easily your assets. For the copywriting at the top of your assets, so some other question I have. In fact, we are able to use some user actions in order to watermark your asset based on the user permissions. One more about the 3D, yes, you can zoom the 3D files while just showing quickly, I think. So, but I just get the question one after the other. So for the preview Office document, we are still using the Office server. So just now from dialog, we have you cannot really launch some user actions, so that's a good idea that I can save. And in the so yes, we are still supporting everything you are using before in the workflow VS. You can always use in ES5. So I think that I covered most of the questions. I'm just checking that everything is fine. At the end of the day, if you have any more advanced questions, or perhaps if I miss some of the questions, really don't hesitate to send us your questions. So your questions has just to be sent to. You can use the contact form on our website. In the meantime, you know my my address just at the beginning of my slideshow. Of course, all this content will be shared tomorrow, so you get the opportunity to download the video. Just visit resources pages. Just visit our YouTube channel. So all the content you can download it from up to tomorrow. So if you have any other question, I'd like to thank you for your attention. Just remarks, or next week I will do exactly the same for French people that not so tied to with English, and also stay tuned to our communication in order, because we'll get some new webinars that will be planned alongside the next month. So I'd like to thank you every of you, and again, Happy New Year, and see you, and bye bye.